Good morning. This is Melody from Kingdom Sewing here in Simi Valley, California. Today's Kimberbell Club is going to be these adorable Sweet Feet tennis shoes. We're going to do them in a little girl's tennis shoe for today, but you can do it in a solid color as well if maybe you have a boy that you want to do it for, or maybe a team. Maybe your kids are on a basketball or baseball team and you want to put their colors on here. It's got a really cute little circle here, and think about actually putting the child or the team's name, or maybe actually their number for their team event would look really cute in this little circle. So it holds the medium-sized tube. We haven't gotten the tubes in. They're on back order right now. So I'm just using the tube that the Kimberbell leather comes in. So I just have it there. When you open up the design, this design is actually made to be done in a 5x7 hoop, and Kimberbell has been nice enough to give us a left foot and a right foot tennis shoe. So I've already done the right foot, so today in our demo we're going to actually do the left foot to go along with it. In your kit that you get from Kingdom, you'll get two pieces of felt to match the fabric. You'll get a piece of fabric. This is actually the tennis shoe itself. Let me bring this up so you can see it. This is actually the tennis shoe. You'll get a piece of white fabric that may have a print in it for the bottom leather part of your tennis shoe. You'll get a small 2.5 by 2.5 inch square of fabric for the circle. I'm using the Kimberbell leather, but in your kit I believe we've put some regular fabric, and you might want to put SF 101 behind that small piece of fabric because you don't want your flowers showing through your circle. And then you'll also get a small 12-inch piece of ribbon for the shoelace. So I have, Tim, if you want to go ahead, I'm going to just move this on over here. I have loaded a piece of black tearaway stabilizer, and you definitely want tearaway stabilizer for this particular project. I did the black so that we could see the stitching on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and load the left or right, I don't know, depending on how you're looking at the shoe, side. And oh, I see Kingdom was doing something here, so let me just erase the background. Delete the background image, okay, and say okay. So now we don't see that shadow back there in case we want to pan back over here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit embroidery. I'm going to start with a gray thread so that you can see it. So here we go. And of course we're working on the Solaris today, so like any of our baby lock machines, it's a dream to thread. It only takes a couple seconds. And I have white bobbin thread in the bobbin. If you wanted to wind your own spool of bobbin thread to match your felt, that would be your prerogative. So we're going to go ahead and just lay down just so we know where to put it. And this is just my preference. I like to still put the design on my on my stabilizer, so I know I've cut a large enough piece of stabilizer. I'm just going to go ahead and back up so that, and I know my felt is large enough, but I just want it to make sure. Okay, and we're just going to go ahead and run that step one more time. Now this is a 20-minute sew out, but it's really a little longer than that. Yeah, it's really a little longer than that because you have to take the hoop off the machine multiple times. Next, we're going to take our flower fabric, we're going to lay it face up and make sure that we're over the top of our placement line. There we go. And then after this step, we're going to pull it off the machine, and I am going to go ahead and cut around my fabric using applique scissors. If you have not had a chance to buy your applique scissors, I'm actually using the Tula Pink scissors today, but Kimberbell just came out with a whole scissors pack, and they have the applique scissors, a pair of tweezers, and 2 sharp tipped scissors for you to use, and this set is actually $99. Tim, our Kimberbell stuff still on sale, or was that last month?
We have 10% off.
We have 10% off the scissors right now, so that's a good deal. Okay, so I'm going to pull this off here, and I'm just going to quickly go around my. And the nice thing about applique scissors is you don't have to worry about cutting your background fabric, because the bill on the applique scissors is there to make sure that you don't accidentally do that. Okay, so that was pretty quick and easy. So this is where we are now. We're going to go ahead and slide this back on the machine. It might help if I put the correct side of the hoop on there. Okay, next we're going to have the placement line for our little white piece that makes it look like it's leather at the bottom of our tennis shoe. We are not going to cut our felt until we actually complete the project all together. So now we're going to take our white material, and I'm just going to make sure that I slide down over the bottom of that placement line. And there we go. And I left it in gray thread so that you can see where we're going. All this thread is actually going to be covered with a satin stitch, so I'm not concerned about it at all. Okay, so Tim, I'm going to take this off again, and we're going to use our applique scissors again to cut around it. And it does not matter which way you have your duck bills, whether they're on the bottom or the top. They work just fine either way. when I have my duckbills on the top, I put more pressure against the fabric tack down line so that I'm not grabbing my backing material. Okay, so let's go ahead and go from this side. Okay, so that's done. We're going to slide it back on. Next, we're going to do the placement line for our little round circle. I'm pulling it back off the machine again, Tim, to be able to do that, to cut around this. And it's a nice, generous satin stitch, so don't worry, don't be overly concerned, but get close to your stitching line. Okay, I'm putting it back on here, and okay, if you are going along with me with your instructions, we are now in step 5, number D, and we have finished all of these steps. We are now going on to step 6. But this is where you can actually deviate just a little bit from the instructions, because I want to use my gray around this circle, and I really don't want to take the time to have to take it off, put it back on. I'm just going to jump up to step 13 real quick, and that's so easy because let me just show you. On any of the Baby Lock, Alissimo, Destiny, Altair, Meridian, or the Solaris, we have a plus-minus key right here. And I'm just watching right here where it says 7. I'm using my down arrow, and I'm just going to jump up to step 13, which is that circle. Oops, I must have, sorry about that. I jumped past it. There it is. It's actually step 10. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that satin stitch because I already have gray thread in there, and that's the color I want for this. And then we're going to jump back to step 7. Absolutely do not have to do that, but I just wanted to show you that's a little trick that you can jump backwards and forwards. After you've sewed this off once, you'll kind of get the hang of it, and you might want to just jump ahead, do that satin stitch, and then jump back. So Tim, while this is doing this satin stitch, over here on our table, we actually have, Kingdom now has a private label stabilizer. This is one of the new ones that we have. This one here is called Safe Tear, and this is actually used if you're doing any garments for babies or small children. This is actually a flame retardant medium weight tearaway stabilizer. So this is really cool if you're doing onesies or any of that. And let me just put that back here. We also have our tearaway soft. This is a really nice weight for this particular project. So making sure when you come in to pick up your kit, if you don't have any tearaway, you need to pick some up. Let me just put that back over there. Don't fall. Okay, so now that I've finished that satin stitch, I want to go back to step 7. So we're just going to go backwards. So that's the up arrow. And now we're back to where we would have been. Okay, so the next stitch we're going to do is actually the outside. So Tim, if you can scan over here to our little foot, we're actually going to do this top stitching, which I've done in a very light orangey kind of color. I'm not really sure what color to call that, but I'm going to call it orange, or a soft orange anyways. I'm using the Baby Lock 10 spool organizer today because we are going back and forth between our thread colors more than just doing 2 spools. So we have this down at Kingdom for you, and it's a really wonderful item. So if you're looking for something to have your husband give you for Mother's Day, this would be the one that I would order. Okay, so we are just doing the top stitching, and we are on step 6A, and it's step 7 on your machine. So I thought I'd tell a little story while we're sitting here watching this. When my daughter, who is currently 39, was in kindergarten, she needed a new pair of tennis shoes. So I sent my husband and my daughter down to the shoe store to buy a pair of shoes. And they come home with a pair of LA Gear Flames, which cost $75 for a 5-year-old. I didn't even own a pair of shoes that cost that much, Tim. And these tennis shoes kind of remind me of those. So I'm going to make a pair of these for my daughter and make them look like her LA Gear tennis shoes for her birthday that's coming up next month. Okay, so now we are going to cut. Like I said, we change our threads a lot on this little project. We're now going to I'm putting a white on white for the nose of the tennis shoe. You might want to consider using the teal color if you'd like, but let me pull back our let me get rid of that. That we're going to be doing this little quilting stitch right here. So I did it in white. So let's just sit that right there. You go right there. Okay. This is a pretty quick stitch out, really, but as long as you have everything ready to go. Okay, next it's going to do the little eyelet holes for your, what makes it look like it's your shoestrings. I'm going to leave them in white. You could change them to, let's say, gray if you'd like, so it looks like they're stainless steel, and then, but I'm leaving them in white, so I'm going to go ahead and hit go. Also, I wanted to point out it only does these 5 and then it jumps over to do this 6th one. It doesn't do the 7th one that's in the center right here. So don't be concerned that the machine has jumped for some reason. Doing this, if you scan back over to our table over here, we have gotten in the CDs for the new Annika throw pillow, and we actually have done out a sample, and it's absolutely darling. It's making your pillow look like you did chenille, so it's very cute on the chenille. And remember, back in February we did the little heart, actually it was January, that was our first project for the year. We did the little heart out of chenille, so hopefully you've done that. We also have a set of Sweet Feet. This one's $39.95, and it has the high heels, a little elf shoe, a ballerina shoe. I'm not really sure what those are. Maybe a set of high tops, and of course your shoes for Halloween and for ice skating, which are darling. Okay, so we are now over, let me cut my thread, and we are now over at the circle because we would have gone back and done the gray. So I'm going to skip over the top of that one, and now we are putting back in my case, our peachy color. There was the color I was looking for. So I had chosen a peach color. I thought it went with the flowers that I had on this material. Your material in your kit may be a little bit different. Okay, and it's going to do the satin stitch around the top, right here at the top of the shoe. And the reason why we're doing that satin stitch now is because later in the project we're going to put the backing felt on, and we don't want the backing felt actually sewn to the top. But it does give a nice generous satin stitch cover for your project. They did a really nice job of digitizing this one. We also, Tim, well, this one's sewing out. If you go back to our little table over here, we also just got in the new red, white, and bloom embroidery, which it is a new quilt for the 4th of July. It comes with a CD with all of the designs, and it's got some adorable designs in here. And wouldn't this be darling on a tea towel for summer? And of course our little red truck, which is all the rage, and the pinwheels, and here's the little extra little packet that you get for doing a we also have, isn't this cute, a little bag with the lights around it if you wanted to have a 4th of July bag to take. So cute. Okay, and we also got the embellishment kit that goes along with that. So the embellishment kit has everything you need for the quilt top, and it is $34.95, and the book and CD are $59.95. And Tim, you said everything's on 10% off right now?
Correct.
Okay, so there you go. Okay, so we are changing thread again. And like I do every month, remember that you pull your thread out from the needle point. Don't pull it backwards. Okay, and
Yes, everything is in March. April is Serger month.
oh, next month we're having Serger month, which is Gina's favorite thing to do is serger. She is queen of serging, that's for sure. Okay. Okay. So, anything else we want to talk about, Tim?
Now we always have our embroidery thread. This is the Floriani embroidery thread. Lots and lots of it. Always have the special buy 3 and get the 4th one free.
Which is really nice if you're looking for a thread to use. His thread is very nice, and I showed this a couple months ago, but let me pull this one off. I don't know, with all of Floriani's thread, if you didn't know, 2 things. One, the bottom here actually will hold your thread in place, so you don't need to put some kind of a thread catcher around it to hold your thread in place. And also, if you have wound your own bobbin for a specific color, your thread, your bobbin will actually sit in the bottom of that thread spool, so you can keep them together. So that's kind of a little treat that Floriani does for us. And a lot of the Kimberbell designs that we do, the color chart that they give out to us is in Floriani as well as Madeira. So that makes it nice to come down to Kingdom and find the thread you need for that project. By 9.5. Okay, it's still sewing out for us. Thank you. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so I am going to stick with this color thread. Oh, it didn't cut for me today. I don't know why, but let's just cut that thread. Okay. Oh, my needle broke. That's why it didn't cut. Tim, do we have a needle that I can replace this? Hold on, ladies. This is the last, oh no, that's the same size hoop, so that didn't help, did it? Okay. Oh, and he gave me one of the purple tip needles. I shouldn't be able to break that one. Oh, but Kim, do you have the? Yeah. Thank you. See, it happens to us all. Okay. A foot. And all we need to do is hit our back button, and it will take us back to the front of this design. I just want to make sure there's nothing on here. And here we go again. And right now what it's doing is it's doing this satin stitch right here and this little satin stitch right here. And if you haven't gotten on our newsletter, Gina just sent out the new April-May newsletter. I believe yesterday is when I received it in my email. And there's a lot of new classes that we're able to use our beautiful classroom for. California has opened us up starting in April. California has opened us up to now being able to have 8 people plus our instructor in the classroom. So we're excited about that. And Tim, you were telling me you have a great deal on your last Altair that we have in stock, right?
Yes, we do.
So,
Talk to us, Gina or myself, and we'll have to show it to you.
and we also
having a floor model sale.
Yes, we're having a floor model sale. So even our Solaris here that we're working on is a really great deal. So come down or just give us a call and see what kind of deals Tim can work for you. If you are thinking about jumping up to a bigger machine, both of those are absolutely wonderful machines. The Solaris is, I didn't think I was going to fall in love with her as much as I have. And why do you think we call her hers, you think? I don't know. Kind of like a ship, I guess. Okay, we are, if you're following along with us in your instructions, we are at Embroidery Step 13, which is Instruction Step 7. And after we do this step, we are actually going to be sliding the hoop off, and we're going to be putting the felt on the back of our hoop for us. But it is really cute, isn't it? Even for a little girl. So cute. So cute. I have 2 classes coming up in April, I have a the little tool caddy here, which goes over the top of a 5x7 picture frame, and included in your class fee is the picture frame. So I'm bringing you the picture frames, and then you get to bring just 3 pieces of your favorite fabric, and you'll have an instruction sheet for that. But these are so cute and so handy to have right next to your sewing machine with all of your little stuff. And right after that, I am having a 10-minute table runner class. So that will be fun for you first-time sewers. You don't need to have an embroidery machine to do either of those 2 projects. Okay, so do not go on to step 14 of your embroidery step until you take your hoop off the machine. You're going to, Tim, excuse me for just a second. Let me just flip this over. The really nice thing when you're putting stuff on the back of your hoop is to set a CD case down, and I'm just going to set it down, and that is the same height as your hoop. So now I'm going to take my other piece of felt, and this is not the time to be stingy with your Kimberbell tape. So you want to make sure that you're putting enough tape down that your project will not get kicked up. Okay, so let me toss my little CD back over there. But those cases are invaluable. I would encourage you to leave one of those CD cases in your sewing bag when you go to Kimberbell classes, because it makes it so much nicer. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, now that we've done step 8, we have taped our piece of felt to the back, and I'm just going to take a little look underneath to make sure it didn't peel off. I am now going to be doing the tip of the shoe and the back of the shoe right there. So that is done in the same seafoam green. Oh my goodness. Our weather here in California is sure warmed up. It's almost time to pull out our shorts and t-shirts. So if you're new to embroidery, one of the things that Kingdom has down here, and you're looking to buy a set of embroidery thread, one of the things that Tim has down here at Kingdom is he has a whole selection of thread that you could buy all at one time. And how many spools of thread are in that box? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 120 spools.
In each box. And there's supposed to be 3 boxes for all the colors. We only have 2. But we'll work out a deal. I don't have the number in front of me right now, but we will have them by the time this is finished taping.
It's a great deal. Because that's all Floriani thread, isn't it, Tim?
Floriani embroidery thread.
So it's the same stuff we have on the wall here, but it's put together for a packet for you. which is really nice for brand new sewers when they need to just buy a set just to get started with. Okay, so we have finished with our teal for the moment, and we are going back and re-threading with our peach. I guess teal isn't the right color, it's more probably a seafoam green, but whatever color you'd like to call it is fine with me. Okay. And we are now on step 9B, which is Embroidery Step 15. And this is what I said, you know, we're going back and forth between our thread colors. So having the spool rack really makes it a nice thing to do. We do, today in our classroom, we have Joni over there, and she's doing the new Main Street bench pillow from Kimberbell, and it is so adorable. It has blinking lights in the pillow, which is so cute. We still have the CD and the embellishment kit here. If you've been looking for them, we still have a few on the wall. So that makes it nice. The project for Joni, though, is that it's a 2-week project. We have today is starting it, then you're going to go home and you're going to come back next Tuesday and finish up the pillow. Do we have anything else? Oh, we have a free class, don't we, for Sew Steady coming up? I believe we have a free virtual class. If you go out to our website, there is a free virtual class, and it's going to be put on by Sew Steady. So Sew Steady is having a free virtual class. It's Friday, May 21st from 10 to 12. So you can log on to our website, sign up through our website, and they are going to be giving away some really great discounts on the Sew Steady rulers. So that's one thing. We are having a one-day event for Kimberbell for the Star Spangled celebration. It has three items that we're going to make. One of them is a flag mug rug, a little Land of the Free, Home of the Brave pennant, as well as a little tote bag that has 3 soda bottles on it that is so darn cute. It is just $199. I am so sorry. $119 for the one-day event. And if you don't have an embroidery machine yet and you want to try it out, please give Gina a call, because you can get one of our sewing machines to actually try out in class. So that's that. I am now going to change my thread color back to our white to do our last little eyelet hole. Now this is the one that we're actually going to poke all the way through. So that's the reason why they waited until now to put the eyelet hole, this eyelet hole in. We are now on step 9C of your instructions, step 16 of 18 on the sewing machine. We are almost there. And since I am using a white little piece of ribbon, I am going to do my little lines that make it look like our shoelaces. I saw someone do this the other day on some YouTube video, and they actually used rat tail for the shoelace, and it was so adorable. But you could also use a regular shoelace if you... Rat tail is that, it's like a satin ribbon, but it's round. And they call it rat tail because it obviously looks like a mouse's tail, which to me is okay because you know how much I love Mickey. And we are almost done with this project. This is step 17 of our embroidery, and after this one we are going to change our thread color one last time. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Do we have anything else? We have our floor models, and we have a great special 60 months, no interest financing if you're looking for a bigger machine and you want the Solaris and you want to finance it. We've got some really good deal on that. I'm going back to our seafoam green one last time to do our last little steps, and it's just some steps where they are going over the top of our satin stitches to make it look more dimensional. And just in case you're part of our Hoops and Oops embroidery club, we are still not able to have our club meetings yet because California hasn't opened us up to 12 people in the classroom, even for just a talking session, demo type thing. Okay, we are finished. I'm going to go ahead and pull my hoop off the machine. You can go ahead and take your Kimberbell tape. If you're planning on doing more of these, you might want to just keep this strip, but like I said a few minutes ago, you know, it may not be the time to be frugal with our Kimberbell tape. I'm going to go ahead and pop my hoop off. And like always, every month I tell you guys, now is the time to get your label maker out and put your name and the size of the hoop on your hoops before we start going back to class, because you know we all have our hoops and we want to make sure that we don't accidentally pick up someone else's hoop unintentionally. So the nice thing about this being tearaway is we're just going to tear this all the way around our little project. It comes out so nicely. And we are going to leave the tearaway inside the shoe. Don't worry about taking that out. It will make it a little firmer. And you are going to pick up your favorite regular cutting shears, and you're going to go through both layers of your felt. And am I at a good angle for you? Okay. And I'm going about 1/8 of an inch around the outside, trying to make my felt have the same curve as my little shoe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hi, how are you? Good.
So there we go. This is just so darn cute. If you're a member of Costco and you're making these for maybe your child or grandchild's soccer team or for their basketball team, they have a box of Oreo cookies that come as a 10-pack, pre-rolled individually, little packets that will fit perfectly into this little shoe, which would be so cute. And I believe they're on sale this week. So, of course, we are, what is today?
30th.
The 30th, Tuesday the 30th of March. So if you're watching this next week, they may not be on sale anymore. Or you're watching it a year from now. Okay, so here is our little project. Now, don't be concerned. Let me just pull this one up. This is completely open on the bottom. And the reason being, let me just go back over here, is so that your tube of cookies or your tube of candy, whatever you get, will actually sit on the table, and then you can just have this kind of balance it. So let me just now take a really sharp pair of scissors, and if you don't have them, now is the time to buy the Kimberbell box. And you're going to go into the second eyelet, and you're just going to poke a hole all the way through this. And I don't know why I had no problem with the oh, there it goes. See, Tim, how I've gone all the way through. Now, in some of, when I bought my Alissimo, I got a really nice little orange handled eyelet punch, but I don't think I remember getting one with my Solaris. Did I? Do you know? No?
No, I don't.
So I'm just going to take my scissors and just open them up so I can just poke this without trying to get it. This is the hardest part with the whole project, is getting your ribbon through the little hole. But once you got it through there. Now also you might want to take your applique scissors and just snip off the little thread tails, but don't snip too close, because those are your locking stitches as well for those satin stitches. So there we go, but just so that it kind of looks a little bit better on the back. There was only a couple of them. Okay, and let's go ahead and and there we go. And let me get both of these sitting side by side so you can see them. There's the one we just made. There's that guy. And there's that one. Are they not adorable? Okay, so we will see you back here next month for our embroidery club. Remember that our embroidery club is the second Tuesday of the month or the second Saturday of the month. If you'd like to sew with us in person, please make sure that you give Gina or Tim a call to put your name on the list. But we will still be doing the YouTube videos if you're not comfortable coming into class yet. So with that, we'll see you next month.